Back to Armchair Safari, the daily live stream where we try to learn from great design I find online. The concept is easy. I find a cool design online. We look at it. You join me in the chat, which is around this window somewhere, and we talk about this design to figure out what is good about this. What should we be incorporating in our own design work from this? What is bad about this? What should we be avoiding? And does this work for the end user? So today, we're going to be looking at something very different. We've spent a lot of time on like super digital things, and today we're going to be looking at a book. So from this excellent thread about designers doing their best freaking stuff by Futura Stan account, Veronica posted this really cool thing. She says here she's a graphic design student. So this is probably still early work, which makes this even more impressive. This is delightfully artificial, based on or like trying to explore Wes Anderssons style, and it's really quite something. So this is probably fake, right? I think this is a fake shot. Yes. It's not a real book, I think, or maybe she did publish this at some point. I hope so. It would be pretty cool if she did, because it's a really cool idea. Delightfully artificial, and just look at the duotone on this. Like this is a beautiful shot. It's very dark blue, very dark hues of blue with some warmth in the middle. And she's framing this on a very, very friendly pink. Very cool. Almost like a skin colored pink, which is, this would be creepy as hell if it wasn't offset by this beautiful blue. Then we have this beautiful, like in-depth look at symmetry and how Wes Anderson uses perfect symmetry to create basically a very fake and synthetic idea of the world. His shots are usually lined up perfectly square down the middle, and everything is very symmetrical or very perfectly offset asymmetrical to make it feel like it's a fantasy world, which is very cool. And again, brilliant color choice. In this case, offsetting the very interesting tones from Asteroid City, because Asteroid City is itself very, very interestingly colored. But here she's actually taking 3 shots from this, realizing that the common pattern is this sharp blue and the dusty, grainy yellow, and creates an offset onto this like red orangey thing, which works really, really well. And strangely enough, on the other page, it's light blue, even though it's a completely different type of light blue than is actually in the shots from the movie. It's a very interesting choice. Font-wise, we have a bunch of stuff going on. Actually, not that much. So first, we have 2 fonts. We have a headline font and we have a bread text font or a copy font. And the headline is a blocky, very, very blocky. I can't remember what this is called, like a brutalist block or something. And we have just a very typical sans serif. It is the same. The headline type is the same on the cover as in the book as well. But it's just a really nice combo. Like this works really, really well in something like a display situation. So something where you have a header or a book or something where you want a huge blocky thing because you get a very interesting feeling from what this thing evokes. In this case, it evokes like a very rustic, very retro sort of vibe, which is also what Asteroid City provides. Actually, it looks kind of similar to the Asteroid City typeface now that I think about it. Very cool. The next one, also Asteroid City, also from one of these super colorized scenes, which just looks amazing. Another picked out color that has nothing to do with the actual shot itself. Actually, I think the contrast color of the text is quite similar to the bathtub. I don't think it's the same, no, but it is similar. So at least there's some connection here. But it's a really cool idea that like she's working with these things that have a lot of color. And she's not actually picking something out of them. She's just taking something that is a good offset to that color. So this is really good color work. really, really interesting. Really, really interesting to go this path because it is the hard path. I would have just taken like a color from the photo because it's just going to be super easy to say like, oh no, it's this color because it's that color. Lol. So this is the hard path, but it's probably a better one. And then we have this, which is from the oh, what was this movie called? The French Dispatch. That's the name of it. Now, in this case, she's actually using a little bit more of trying to pick out the color from the shots and then using a contrast to that color. Looks really, really nice. Looks really, really nice. Still the same font job, same like really good contrasts. But so now we've gone through like the vibe and sort of the good. Actually, I'll give you one more good. Another thing that's really, really good about this, and I have printed at least one personal, like I've at least created one print book. I think I've created more, but at least one that I created completely by myself. These margins are excellent. Margins on books, because you print them, need to be way larger than you think. So this is really, really good. When you have something like, it's like 20% or more that is just white space around the text, that is a really good choice because you'll end up with something that looks nice on the page and doesn't come too close to the back of it. Um, so that's a good. That is something that this is something that we can learn from. Like picking out colors is really, really an art form, and Veronica did this really well. Picking out the fonts also super interesting. Just not overusing them too much, but just using them in a consistent way. But then we go on to the bad. So what's bad about this? Well, the cover can sustain this incredibly lush, vibrant difference in colors because the cover is going to be very expensively printed. So it's going to have really nice stucco paper. It's going to have all of the colors. It's going to be really nice. But this page right here would be incredibly expensive to print because there's so much stuff going on. You're going to have to do this on like really high grade paper, really slow, really high res printer. And you also have letters that are, ooh, zooming really, really freaked out. Can we open this in a new tab? Yes, as we can. And you also have blues on blues, and we have the same thing on the next shot. So this contrast between the text and the background looks really nice, but on paper, paper bleeds. So to get this perfectly sharp, you're gonna have to have a very expensive paper, or you need higher contrast. And this little red double helix, that is going to be hell to print. So to print this perfectly, this has to be a very expensive coffee table book. Totally doable. Might be what Veronica imagined doing. I don't know. But it is a negative. It's something that we have to bring up to think like, oh, wait, we have to remember this. This could actually be a bit of an issue. Same thing here with the contrast. It will work. It just won't work perfectly. One interesting thing here, though, is we talked about the margins as being a good thing. But on this shot, the image is actually through the crease, which means that this image will be compressed in a strange way. Now, this could be a really cool effect. I see this happening at times in coffee table books, but I would be kind of worried. It would be interesting to see like a test print of this to see really where it creases, because I suspect the crease is gonna be somewhere around here, which means that you might not actually see her face properly in the book. Yeah, you should. If this is a big book, you should. This can't, but it couldn't be printed too small because this whole thing would probably be rounded off, which would start dragging her face. Her face would be on the convexity surface of the page, and it would get slightly distorted. So a risk, but from everything else we see, I'm pretty sure Veronica imagines this as a coffee table book, and then again, it could absolutely work. And here we have another one that is very, very interesting because Look at these frames. There we go. Inner frame, big, clear, no problem. Uh, Interesting choice here, though, that it's first a square photo and then a rounded frame and then a square frame. It's interesting. The outer one, the outer one could also be a problem. Again, this depends on the quality of the stock you're printing on. Could be very interesting. Could be an issue, could not be an issue. It really depends. If you're doing this on a glossy photo paper, it could work. Yeah, same here. I actually love this. I want to say that this is a good thing. Making the emphasis part of this what's it called? It's not a quote. It's when you take a piece of text out of it and make it highlighted. Is it a block quote? No. What is it called? There's a term for this. Whatever. When you take the emphasis part of a large block text and make something different with it, like making it italic, usually it's a very nice way to draw the eye into like this is where you start. Like come to this place. In this case, she's also making it a darker shade of yellow, which just makes it really pop on this page because it's a hard page for the eye to follow already. But she does a good job here because you start here with all of the geometrics and all of the complexity. You go like, oh yeah, okay, you have to start here, so then you can read the text because it's close to the photo. But then as soon as you go over, this part of the page is way less complex, so it requires less visual acuity. It requires less of you as the reader. So you would go from this page immediately to the photo, and then you might just jump past it, right? Except that this is highlighted twice. So now you get a recall effect where you go from this to this yellow frame and then more yellow. So it kind of guides your eye to like follow a path, which is really nice. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to learn from this. It's going to be a short episode today because we're ramping up for tomorrow's Fun Friday. Fridays is where we just look at cool shit here on Armchair Safari. Does this work for the end user? I think fans of Wes Anderson, myself included, would love to have a book like this, but it would have to be a premium coffee table book to make this totally work. And yeah, nice job, Veronica. It looks really nice. It's a great topic, and yeah. So if you're looking for a graphic designer and or want to talk about Wes Anderson, go follow Veronica. She has 161 followers. So I mean, definitely someone who is sharing early work, and we applaud you for that, Veronica. Good stuff. This is the way to go. And tomorrow is Friday Fun Day, which means we're going to be looking at a bunch of cool design that we're not going to be trying to learn anything specific. We're just going to look at a lot of really cool design and just enjoy it. So if you have any cool design, send it my way. If you don't, just come along and hang out. Tomorrow is the day for that. And with that, I'm going to end this stream for today. This is Armchair Safari, the daily design stream where we try to learn from cool design I find online by just walking through it, reviewing it, and figuring out what's good about this, what's bad about this. Does this work for the end user? Tomorrow, Fun Friday. See you there. Have a good night.